Hi, I'm Tim Probert, editor of Personal Care. We're here at Suppliers Day, New York, and I'm here with Marty Boykin, who's the technical director of Eastman. Can you tell us a little bit about Eastman and what you're highlighting here at the show this week?
Yeah, Tim, thanks for inviting me. I'm Marty Boykin, I'm director of technology for our Care Solutions business at Eastman. Eastman Chemical Company is a global manufacturer of advanced materials and specialty additives. And this week we are talking about and launching new micropowders, biodegradable micropowders for cosmetic applications. So we've developed a series of products. We'll be launching other products in the future. They're freshwater biodegradable, they're naturally derived, and they're specifically developed for lipsticks, for liquid foundations, and also for pressed powders.
Okay. Is there anything else new this week?
Yeah, well, we also have our core products that we also have. We have materials that are used in hair products. We have materials used in fragrance fixatives.
Yeah.
But the primary focus this week is launching our new microplastic-free biodegradable materials.
Okay. And trends, what are you seeing? What are you picking up this week?
Yeah, so we actually started looking at trends several years ago and realized that brands, especially in Europe, due to eco regulations, had to start moving away from microplastic materials, and the alternatives did not have very good performance. And so we saw an opportunity to design. We have 100 years of experience designing cellulose materials. We designed a series of biodegradable materials, and then we developed them for color cosmetics. We developed new products for skincare, for sun care applications, in order to meet those regulations, but also bring the performance that consumers and brands appreciate.
Okay.
We've also done consumer insight surveys to try to get a better idea of what the satisfaction gaps are. And we've learned there's a lot of issues with some of the natural alternatives in regard to performance, things like long wear, things like the feel, the sensory properties. And so that's kind of been where we've targeted our innovation.
But is that in the US, is obviously the regulation and that applies to Europe?
Right.
Is that coming?
It is. I mean, multinational brands do not want to have different products for different regions.
Sure.
So they see the regulations in Europe. They want to make sure they have products that be sold. If you think about the brands, the multinational brands, they have the same product sold all over the world. So they don't want to have different formulations. At the same time, consumers also are aware of some of the issues with or concerns around microplastics, some of the concerns around synthetic materials that aren't biodegradable or non-persistent. So we see that trend in Asia, we see it now in North America, we also see it, of course, in Europe, driven by regulations.
And how can you be sure that these new microplastic-free alternatives are as good as what people are used to?
We don't just develop materials, we also develop formulations, we develop prototypes, we test them versus benchmarks, so we benchmark versus materials that are being used today as well as materials that are being used as alternatives. We've also now been working with customers, we've sampled customers and gotten feedback. So our feedback has been very good, our prototyping has been very good, and our benchmarking. So we feel very confident with the performance, and we're in those early stages of qualification with customers at this point.
Okay, so that's in the product pipeline, you've got more of these coming?
Yes.
Okay, well that's great. Well, we look forward to seeing those here in future suppliers.
Thank you, Tim, and thanks for the time.
Thanks, Marty.
Nice to meet you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.